There's always a void there, I think. And the main thing that was missing was God and Jesus and my faith. That is the main thing. And that's the way I want to live my life now. I want to be a God chaser and a love agent. That is the main thing for me now.
I'm Bob.
I'm Gerri, and we spent our entire life looking for the main thing. The main thing, when I was growing up, I was involved in church. My family was really involved with the church. My grandparents were involved with church, and we went to church as a family. And the main thing at that point was my family.
I guess when I was a kid, we did the church thing. I went through the confirmation, the Bible studies, the kindergarten, and all that. But it came a point in time when I was old enough that I didn't have to go. I didn't go anymore. And the main thing for me, I guess at that point in time, I was insecure of myself. I wanted to fit in. So I run around with a bunch of people that were drinking and drugging. I fell into that at basically 15 years old. And the main thing for me at that point in time was the drugs. Pretty much drugs was my God.
When I was 21, almost 21 years old, my parents suddenly got divorced. It happened within the church, with somebody within the church. My father remarried, and it was a devastating moment for me. I didn't know how to handle it. And I won't say that I gave up on God, but I didn't understand the whole church thing anymore. It was really hard for me. The main thing became drugs and alcohol, and it became an addiction for me. And it took over my life. That was the main thing at the time. I ended up getting married and having a child, but it was an abusive relationship. And I didn't want to end up like my parents. And one of the biggest things was me for not to do that to my daughter. But it got to the point where it was something that had to be done. I moved to Wilmington probably when my daughter was about 6 or 7, and got in with some people here that I had known from previous years, and got really involved in drugs and alcohol, and that became my main focus on life. It really did. And above my daughter, above anything else.
And I guess at a certain point in time when I used to work for the railroad and lost my job, I went to treatment. And I was clean for 8 years. The main thing at that point in time was staying clean. And then I guess I decided I wanted to try it my way again. And at that point in time, I went back out. And I was still looking for something again to fill that hole in my soul.
About 8 years ago, I'd had enough, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And I really didn't want to live anymore, to tell you the truth. So, I made my way back to getting clean. And at that point, the main thing was for me to stay clean and to get my life back on track, to be able to get respect from my daughter again. And she was devastated. By this time, she was like almost 20 years old, and she was devastated. And I started going to an outside organization that helped me stay clean. I wanted to get back into church. I had started looking around for different churches and going to different churches, but one of the main objectives for me is my faith in God now. I want to live for Jesus. It's not about what He can do for me, but what I can do for Him.
I ended up down here and went into rehab. Halfway houses. That's how I ended up in Wilmington. I stayed in there for like 18 months. And then, I met Gerri, and I see how she is with church and her faith. And it makes me want to have more of that faith. I guess I've been searching for this all my life. And I found the main thing, which is God. And I know what He's done for me. And, now it's time to give back to Him. I just have a lot more faith than I used to have. When times get hard on me, and them thoughts still creep back into my mind. still have that faith that I'll get through that.
I think too, like, I feel a lot happier in the mornings, like just excited for the day to start, and really excited to be able to, to try to carry the message to other people also. So now that we found the main thing, we're really excited to live for Jesus and see what the future holds for us. We just excited. We have grandkids now, and we have an awesome family, and our family's also involved in church with us, and we're just really excited for the journey that we're going to be on. No matter what comes, if we trust God, I think
Yep.
there's no end.
Yep.